Most men spend their entire lives trying to be chosen. They optimize their dating profiles, rehearse their lines, upgrade their wardrobe, chase status, and still watch the woman they want drift toward a man who seems to be doing nothing. No performance, no effort, just existing. And she's obsessed with him. It's not luck. It's not looks. That's not money. That's something most men were never taught. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what that something is. Because once you see it, you can never unsee it. Let's get into it. Point 1. She chooses the man who can't be rattled. At some point, she's going to push back. She'll disagree with you. She'll challenge your opinion. She'll say something sharp just to see how you respond. Here's where 90% of men fail. They crumble and fold to keep the peace, or get defensive and make it a fight. But the man she eventually can't stop thinking about, he just smiles. Not arrogantly, not coldly. He smiles because he knows exactly who he is, and her resistance doesn't threaten that. Calm, unshakable stillness. It communicates something no speech ever could. I am rooted. Nothing you do will uproot me. That's not stubbornness. That's the rarest form of strength she'll ever encounter. Point 2. She chooses the man who is already busy. Watch what most men do when an attractive woman appears. They shift. Their posture changes. Their conversation trails off. Their eyes follow her, like she's reorganized the universe. She notices this. Every time. Contrast that with the man who stays locked into his conversation, who finishes his thought, who laughs genuinely. He's not performing disinterest. He's actually interested in his own life. That pulls her toward him like gravity. She's not used to having to earn someone's focus. The moment she realizes she has to, everything changes. Point 3. She chooses the man who would genuinely leave. This is uncomfortable, but it's the truth. Women are drawn to men, not imprisoned by the outcome. Men who, when something isn't right, don't negotiate their own dignity to fix it. When you have real walk-away power, not as manipulation, but as a genuine standard, she feels it. She can't explain it. But she senses that your presence in her life is a choice, not a need. And that distinction makes her want to be chosen far more than any grand gesture ever would. Point 4. She chooses the man who commands a room without demanding it. She's not only watching how you treat her, she's watching everything. She's watching how you speak to the server, how you handle a frustrating situation, whether you lose your composure when things go sideways, or whether you navigate it like you've been there before. Women are extraordinarily perceptive. They are quietly running an assessment in every interaction, not out of judgment, but instinct. And when you move through the world with quiet authority, when you don't complain, don't deflect, don't crumble, pass every single test without ever knowing you were being tested. Point 5. She chooses the man who can actually say no. There is a specific kind of man who agrees to everything. Every plan, every favor, every shifting of his schedule. Thinks flexibility makes him attractive. Thinks saying yes makes him likable. But she doesn't experience that as generosity. She experiences it as shapelessness. And you cannot be drawn to something that has no edges. The man who can say no, that doesn't work for me, calmly, without a lengthy explanation, has edges, has a shape, is a defined thing, and defined things are the only things you can actually hold on to. Point 6. She chooses the man who understands silence. Most men are terrified of silence. They fill it with texts, with plans, with constant availability. They are so afraid of being forgotten that they make it impossible for her to miss them. But missing someone is one of the primary fuels of deep attraction. You cannot miss what is always there. The man who lets conversation breathe, who doesn't need to fill every gap, who goes quiet for a day because he was genuinely absorbed in something, creates a pull, and when he re-enters, he's warm, present, fully there. That rhythm, presence, then space, then presence again, is the actual heartbeat of romantic tension. Most men never learn it. Point 7. She chooses the man who has somewhere else to be. The greatest irony in attraction is this: the less she is your entire world, the more desperately she wants to be in it. When you are building something, a skill, a vision, a business, a body, a life that genuinely excites you, she can feel it. You don't announce it, you don't post about it to impress her. You just do it. She watches a man who is in motion, who has a direction, who doesn't need her arrival to give him purpose. Something in her becomes determined to be part of that story. Point 8. She chooses the man who doesn't need her to confirm he's enough. This is the deepest one, and the hardest. Because most men have been quietly asking women for permission their entire lives. Did I do okay? Did that land? Am I interesting enough? Attractive enough? Worthy enough for you? Even when they don't say those words, she hears the question. The man she ultimately gives her heart to doesn't ask. Not because he's cold or disconnected, but because the answer already lives inside him. He knows who he is. He doesn't need her applause to feel like himself. And that kind of internal completeness, that total self-possession, is the most magnetic thing a human being can carry into a room. Here's what all 8 of these points have in common. None of them are about performance. None of them are about strategy or manipulation. They're all expressions of one thing. A man who is genuinely, completely, unborrowedly himself. That's the man she falls for. Not the highlight reel. Not the resume. The real, rooted, purposeful man underneath all the noise. If this video gave you something to think about, drop the words "quiet magnetism" in the comments. It tells me you made it to the end and that you're the kind of man who takes this seriously. Because you don't convince her to love you. You simply become someone she'd be a fool to let go.